Alright, just sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
Restricted breeding area. Zoo employees only.
What are they, we want these gorillas to mate. Zach, get in there and help them. Come on, JoJo. Come on, baby. You can do it, baby. Little bit to your left. There's nothing for the zoo employee to do other than watch and go, all right, they're done. Let's bring in the next
There's a Quagmire skit somewhere.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Look at the little Tula. She's talking to the producer. Talking to a cat. And a woman in a jumpsuit throws her a grapefruit.
Hi, everybody. Welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, September the 6th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
What's up, everybody?
How are you on this fine September evening?
Awesome.
Are we ready for some football tomorrow night?
Are we ready for some football? Yeah, I still don't like that it starts on a Thursday, and I never, ever will.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be the Lions and the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
should be interesting.
So
Right.
two division winners.
Fantastic.
According to some. Two
In my
division
book,
winners.
yes.
There you go. So, all right. Well, we should talk about that. We should begin, right? We should begin at the beginning. That's where the place to start. I enjoy that very often. So, all right. Well, as we do, we always start with our funny memes for the fun show.
As we
All
do.
right. Yes, we do. So I get this one for you. This comes into us from North Dakota. No, I'm kidding. I found this interesting.
Little Johnny walking.
There you go. Sonic, try our new steak butt burger.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
a
if
cut
I
of
want-
meat, the butt.
I mean, steak butts are pretty common. They just don't call it that.
They just don't call it that, right? I guess this is truth in advertising. Maybe.
You hear pork butt a lot.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's in Denver, or at least somewhere in the Denver metropolitan area.
It very well might be. I'm not sure, but it could be. The mountain in the back kind of, helps. But I mean, it could be in Utah.
Could be.
Right? Could be in Wyoming.
Do they have steak butt in Utah?
I don't
think they do any butt stuff in Utah.
Not a lot of butt in Utah. Right. Exactly. All right. Moving on to this one. This I found interesting. Men, please raise the seat before using the women. Thank you.
I agree.
All right. You always have to raise the seat before using the women, right?
I think it's please
Well, you have to-
raise
you
the
have to let
seat
them
before
out.
using, period. The women, thank you.
Oh, I see where you went there. Punctuation does help.
It
It
does.
does.
It does. It really does. All right.
Did
This
I
one I
ever-
found it.
Did I ever give you my my husband-wife toilet etiquette?
I don't think so. Go
Well,
for
yeah.
it.
Listen, I've always said, and I will always, it's completely unfair to the men. Petty, but here's what I mean. We are expected to raise the seat
Mhm.
and then to lower it, right?
Mhm. Right.
Because women get mad if you don't raise the seat, because then you pee on it,
Mhm.
which is more than legitimate.
Mhm.
But then they get mad when you don't lower it, because if they're not looking where they're going, they sit down and fall in the toilet.
Mhm.
But
Here's my take.
wait, I'm almost done. I'm almost there.
Okay.
The thing I say is, that's completely unfair because the woman doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
She doesn't have to raise or lower the seat. And the man shouldn't have to do both. So I always put the cover down when I'm done so that at least she has to lift something up. And then I feel like you're 50% there, baby.
There you go.
The
You can
cover.
leave it up without consequence, but at least you have to move something in order to use the toilet.
The
And then
cover
you
on
understand the plight of the man.
the cover on a toilet should always be closed when not in use.
Mhm.
It is. I hate when people don't have a cover. It's bad feng shui.
I agree.
Yeah. Actually, they say you should close the cover before you flush.
You know who else agrees,
Yes.
right?
Because
You know what?
of the jet drops.
Because of the drops. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And I agree. I do that too. I do that. Any toilet, it's up. You use it, whether you're using it both pieces up or one piece up, either man or woman, right? and then everything gets lowered.
Everything
And
gets
then you
lowered.
flush. That's what they do it. So, but you know who? Bad feng shui. You know who else agrees with you on the feng shui, right? This one
Maria
right here.
Kondo.
Maria
There you
Kondo,
go.
right there. You go.
She doesn't care. My toilet doesn't necessarily bring me joy, except on those. Every
Sometimes
once
it
in a
could,
while,
though.
you just have one of those spectacular shits, and you're just like, "This is pretty amazing."
Right. She hasn't made an appearance on the show in a while, Marie.
No, she hasn't. She's been
MIA.
She's been holding out for a contract extension.
Marie has been MARIE.
I can't imagine somebody who likes order and discipline not liking the show.
Not liking the show, exactly. All right. On that note, this one I found interesting. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they mean by this event coming up at 6:10. Here we go.
Dungeons and Drag.
There you go.
You know, a drag Dungeons and Dragons show would be really good. I don't think anybody's done it. That's a brunch that has not been done in Brooklyn yet.
Right. A drag Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean,
show.
think about the crowd you're going to bring in for that.
It's Dungeons and Drag, not Dungeons in Drag.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dungeons and Drag, I mean, that's just drag in a dungeon. I'm with that. I'm down with
Is that the dungeon masters are in drag, or the people in the dungeon are in drag, or maybe
Dungeons
or
and
both.
Drag? So it's the dungeon crowd and the drag
and the
crowd.
drag crowd. So it's both.
6:10.
That's 6:10. At 6:15, it's different.
That's right.
So there you go. All right, I found this interesting too. Restricted breeding area, zoo employees only.
Yeah.
No animals.
No.
Just the zoo employees. Restricted breeding area.
Well. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's that's to keep what is it they call animal husbandry?
Animal husbandry.
To keep that from happening.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want any of that. And then this last one I found very, very interesting. 15 best things about our pubic schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
southbendon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go back to the previous one for a second?
Sure.
Because here's my question. What would they do there anyway? What would the employees do, even if they were allowed back there?
Breed?
Come on, JoJo. Come on, baby. You can do it, baby. Move a little bit to your left. A little bit to your left, kid.
Exactly.
You know, what are they, we want these gorillas to mate. Zach, get in there and help them. What?
Help them out, right?
So, it's going to be strictly voyeurism.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, there's places I can go that I don't want to, but
somebody's getting fucked no matter what.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, unless whatever.
There's a Quagmire skit somewhere in there.
Giggity.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing for the zoo employee to do other than watch and go, all right, they're done. Let's bring in the next
There's
pair.
definitely a
Clean it
goat
up
with Quagmire's face.
Yeah. I don't know how they're ever gonna how they're gonna help.
Yeah, who would know? I wouldn't. There you go.
You could set the ambiance, create a nice environment.
You would imagine so. Anyway, and then back to this one really quick. The pubic schools, southbendon.com.
Yeah.
Bend on, not bend in.
Bend on.
Wouldn't it be South Bend, Indiana? So it'd be IN.
Well, Bend On must be another
Bend
organization.
On. Well, that uses pubic schools apparently.
And it looks like is there a check mark or something in the O?
In the O, there's a check mark, right?
It's like an apple.
So that must be maybe some sort of a school app or something. Southbendon.com.
Well,
it doesn't sound good.
No matter what, it's interesting.
It sounds like a bad decision by the Board of Ed.
I agree. So you checking out southbendon.com?
It's available for sale.
Southbendon.com is available for sale.
After that billboard, lost a number of clients and went under.
Exactly. And I wonder if I'm just looking at the billboard company is Burkhart. So I wonder if Kevin Burkhart's involved with that. Maybe not, but probably not. It's available for sale. That's great.
Or is that southbendin.com? And the O is just some sort of weird.
Well, put in southbendin.com and see if you can find the 15 best things about our pubic schools.
Southbendindiana.gov.
No,
not .com.
Interesting. So southbendon.com was a site that is no longer.
I think somebody made this up.
No, that's definitely a billboard.
How do you know?
I took it.
All
right. Well, there you go. All right. So that's our funny memes for today. All right. Let's kick it off, folks, with tonight's Just a Quickie. We still need to do some theme music for these. Just a Quickie, NFL Just a Quickie. Pick one in their prime. That's what we've been doing. So that's what we're going to continue. Pick one in their prime. Harry, you're going to go first on this one. Pick one in their prime. Steve Largent or Marvin Harrison?
I'm going to go Steve Largent.
Steve Largent. All right. Pete?
Am I throwing to them or just their?
Well, and here's my
rationale.
rationale.
I'm taking one of these guys from my team, my flag football team.
Here's my rationale why. Is, Steve Largent had Jim Zorn, good quarterback, but Marvin Harrison had Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Fair enough. Good rationale.
Well, I will take the production, and I don't know what their numbers are. They might have been somewhat similar. I don't think so, but I'll take Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. You can't go wrong with either of them, but I got to be honest with you. This just swayed me. I was going to say Marvin Harrison, but Harry's right. Steve Largent had Jim Zorn throwing to him,
and very little other weapons around.
Yeah, right. And Marvin Harrison had Peyton Manning throwing to him, and Steve Largent had a lot of production. So yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna go with Steve Largent. Right. You can't go wrong with either.
Well, let's take a quick look at the numbers.
All right.
So Harrison had 188 games. Steve Largent 197 catches.
It's pretty close, actually.
It is. Harrison catches. Harrison 1102. Largent 819. Receiving yards. Harrison 14.5. Steve Largent 13 even.
16 yards a carry for reception.
16 yards a catch for Largent versus 13. 28 more touchdowns for Harrison. Yard and a half roughly. Yard per catch. Receptions per game. 1.5. And receiving yards per game. 11. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison was a better player. I'm not saying he wasn't. But I think Steve Largent did a lot with very little.
Made more out of things with a lot less.
Because let me tell you something. It's a lot harder to put up these numbers as a number one without a good number two. Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, right. Like who else? Who else was Jim Zorn throwing to if it wasn't Steve Largent?
Exactly.
Peyton Manning had a couple other pretty decent receivers and a couple of running backs who could catch the ball too. So.
Absolutely. So there you go. All right, cool. There's our Just a Quickie. All right. That brings us to this week's when we renamed it. Hold on, I actually didn't rename it on here, so I don't want to put the wrong thing up.
Well, we renamed it. Did not.
The computer did not.
Jackass of the month. What?
There we go. All right. So it's the new segment. Four gotta stay.
Four gotta stay.
That's the name of the segment. So four gotta stay. Top Yankees Mets managers all time.
Ooh, boy.
Four got to stay. Top Yankees Mets managers all time. All right. Four got to stay. Two got to go. I give you six. You know the drill. Write these down. Write these.
You know the rules. One bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Everybody in one bite. Everybody knows the rules. Yeah. I think we just got kicked off YouTube for saying that.
I'm pretty sure that's not trademarked.
Who knows? It would shock me, to be honest with you.
Actually, it might be.
It might be, yeah. So, all right, write these down.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Martin.
B. Mart.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Torre.
J Tour.
Joseph Girardi.
JG.
Davey Johnson.
DJ.
Bobby Valentine.
B Val.
And Terry Collins.
X.
There you go. So Billy Martin, Joe Torre, Joe Girardi, Davey Johnson, Bobby Valentine, Terry Collins. Harry, kick us off.
You know, I was going to kick Billy Martin up here, but Bobby Valentine and Terry Collins just have no place on this list. I don't know. Torrey's got to stay. Davey Johnson's got to stay. I guess Billy Martin stays. Girardi, Valentine, or Collins? Did Girardi win? Girardi did win a championship, didn't he?
He
No,
did
he
in 09. In 09.
09, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's the difference then, isn't it? Girardi. So I'm going to go Martin, Torre, Girardi, and Davey Johnson.
Mm-hmm. All right. As any good Yankee fan would.
Oh, Davey Johnson might be my second favorite on this after Joe Torre.
There you go.
I think Davey Johnson was a hell of a manager.
I think Davey Johnson was a hell of a manager. And I think Joe Girardi was a hell of a manager in the Bronx. His first managerial job, however, not so much.
Yeah.
That would be in Queens. Yeah.
All
right.
there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
true.
that happens a lot.
Often. Yeah, quite. All right. Radio Pete, yours.
All right, Collins is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with Harry. I'm going to keep Valentine as a homer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get rid of Billy Martin because he was as much a distraction and an issue on that team. And
I kind of feel the same way about Valentine.
Yeah,
they're similar in that regard. They both kind of annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah. And so I'll get rid of Collins, and I'll obviously Torrey has to stay. I don't know. What did Girardi really do?
He coached. He managed Joe Torre's team to the 09 World Series.
Well, Girardi also won, as a player as well. So,
yeah, I mean,
but as a manager,
though, that's what we're talking.
I think
about.
Girardi
he very switchered his way to a championship.
Well, I don't agree with that necessarily.
Well, but didn't he manage Philly and he didn't do so well there?
No.
And they fired him, and then he. All right, you know what? I'm gonna.
He did better than Buck Showalter.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm gonna get rid of Girardi. I'm gonna keep Billy Martin because it was that time and he was part of it, and who knows? Maybe all that stuff was good for the team. So
Joe Girardi has 1,120 wins as a manager, 935 losses, a 545 winning percentage.
Well, there you go. And
barely over 500.
If you're playing along at home, Pete's original pick before he took Girardi off and made it Billy Martin was my thing. So Joe Torre, Joe Girardi, Davey Johnson, Bobby Valentine. Bobby Valentine was a good manager. Bobby Valentine did a lot in the late 90s and early 2000s with the Mets. He did manage them to a World Series and almost to another one if it wasn't for a couple of asshole knucklehead players.
He's got a lower winning percentage than Joe Girardi by a lot.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, but look what he had to work with. Well, he had some good teams to work with.
I mean,
it's
98, 99, 2000, 2001 kind of did it for me.
Billy Martin was probably the next to go, but
he'd definitely be the next to go. I would.
If it was three got to stay, then Valentine's going.
Valentine's off. Yeah, it's Davey Johnson, Joe Girardi, and Joe Torre at that point, right? Yeah. So.
But I'll keep him around, like I said, because I'm a homer.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
I can't have sound reasoning for everything.
This is true.
Or anything.
It wouldn't be you.
Yeah, you were when you said Joe Torre obviously has to stay. I was like, I thought he'd be the first one to go.
Yeah, I thought about
some strange reason
dumping him and Martin right off the bat because they probably have the most championships, right, of any of these people.
Well, Martin only has
2.
1. No, Martin
You're right.
won.
You're right.
Did he only have one?
Yeah, just 77.
Yeah, he was fired in 78.
Yeah, midway through the season.
Yeah.
And who managed them after that?
Bob Lemon.
Bob Lemon.
Bob Lemon. Did they win in 78 though?
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Harry.
About 1978. Well, how much time do you have?
Go for it.
What a great year. I mean, it's the great comeback. 14 games down. The 1-game playoff. Bucky fucking Dent. By the way, Reggie Jackson had the game-winning hit in that game, not Bucky Dent. That's okay. Nobody remembers that. It's all right. Yeah, and then the New York Yankees won their first back-to-back World Series in a very, very, very long time. It was a good year.
That was I think that was the end of my Yankee fandom.
Yeah. Chris Chambliss, Willie Randolph, Bucky Dent, who was substituted by Brian Doyle, Greg Nettles, Thurman Munson.
I thought you were going to say Brian Doyle Murray.
Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, a platoon of Oscar Gamble and Lou Piniella and Mickey Rivers in center field.
Mickey Rivers.
And Louisiana Lightning as your ace. And the combination of Catfish Hunter and Goose Gossage as your bullpen. That was your 1978 New York Yankees.
There you go. That was also the year I caught the Reggie Jackson foul ball during batting practice of the Yankees-Royals game in May. One nice Saturday afternoon in May at Yankee Stadium.
That's right.
Pete, check your number 3. That's all I have to say.
I can't even know who that was.
Well, your number 3 is your number 2. Just the last name, though.
Oh, what? Oh, because let me see. Because I did it and then I changed it.
There you go. So anyway, cool. All right. Well, that's tonight's 4 Gotta Stay. All right. And there we go.
Wait, where is
the other thing? While you look, I'm going to bring up the next segment here. We got NFL Question of the Week, folks. NFL Question of the Week. Harry, I'll discuss this with you while Pete does his work here. Which your thoughts? Which division will be the doormat of the NFL this season?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that it's going to be. I mean, it's got to be the AFC South, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be.
I think it's the AFC South.
AFC South. It would have to be one of the Souths, right?
Yeah, the NFC South is not great either. But that's a tough one. Man, I might change my mind. Oof. Well,
it's difficult.
The Jaguars and the Titans are. No, I'm going to go NFC South. NFC South is
yeah, right. Because I mean, you got the Jags and the Titans.
Yeah,
and what the Colts and the Texans. But in the NFC South, you got the
garbage.
You got. I mean, other than the Saints, and the only reason the Saints are.
I don't think the Saints are going to be that great.
No, but the only reason that they have any validity at all is because of Derek Carr, right?
Right.
So, short of that, what are they? And Derek Carr is still Derek Carr until proven otherwise.
Right.
Right. So, but then you got the Bucks who aren't doing anything. You got the Panthers who haven't done anything, and you got the Falcons who, I mean, could be better. But
I think
do we really know?
I think a lot of people are hot on the Falcons. A lot of people picking the Falcons to bounce back and have the biggest delta in the wins and losses this year.
Gotcha.
A lot of people on that bandwagon.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are going to be wrong.
A lot of people are going to be wrong.
But here's why they're on that bandwagon, because they have the weakest schedule in the NFL, and it's because they get to play the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bucks twice.
Mm-hmm. This is true. This is very true. Pete, how you make it out?
I'm just redoing it.
Because you could just add in the number 3.
Or just don't.
There you go.
All right. What's next?
I know. Well, Pete's got to give me his answer. I just was waiting for him because he's frozen right now.
Am I?
Well, your face is frozen, and it looks like you're upset about something.
It's been frozen like for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, now
you
you're
can
better.
still hear me all right.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, audio's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's what we really care about anyway.
You're just a little out of focus.
Oh, I was using the fix your appearance thing. It made my stubble disappear.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, really? Smooth out. Huh?
Yeah.
Smooth them out. Smooth them out.
I want mine to make me look like Colin Farrell.
See, I wonder if it could do that. That'd be interesting if you could just put that shit, touch up my appearance, and all of a
better
sudden,
yet, Angelina Jolie.
all of a sudden, I look like
Ruth Buzzy.
Ruth Buzzy. There you go.
All right, I think I changed this, so let me know if that comes through there, John.
Which MLB manager do we most resemble?
I still don't have it. Oh, there we go. I have it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Pete, tell us your which your for the question of the week. Your choice for which division will be the doormat of the NFL this year.
Of the NFL, you mean this season?
This season.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean
NFC South.
Yeah, it's going to be the NFC South. But let me see what I think. I'll give you what I think might be second place.
Joe Girardi.
Joe Girardi.
There you go. So you go. So
I think the AFC South might be in second place.
Well, it's both Souths, right? It's and I definitely agree with that, and I think Harry does as well. But we definitely there's an issue. But
you know
going
what?
on
I will say
in the Southland, if you will, right?
Let me say this: I think the AFC South will have less wins in total than the NFC South. How about that?
Say that again, please.
The AFC South will have less combined wins than the NFC South.
So you're saying that the AFC South will be the doormat at that point? If you look at it that way, I mean, if that's the case, then they really would be the doormat. Or are you just saying that the team that wins in the AFC South is going to win by a smaller margin so that they have less wins, even though they're slightly better? Like, are you doing the math?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the definition of the doormat is. I guess it's the lead. Is that what we're going with? The lead?
Yeah, team that went. I mean, I'm not going by stats.
Or you just kind of look at it and you go, "Oh, they're all terrible."
They're all, but it's got to be measured by. It's got to be measured by record, right? It's got to be by wins and losses. I mean, that's really. I mean, instead of doing a deep dive into stats or anything like that, you got to.
Well, no, but I mean, do you just look at the straight numbers, or do you look at the records in comparison to the rest of, let's say, the conference they're in?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it that
because
way.
Like a 6-11 record in one conference might be a lot. You know what I mean? Might be a lot worse than a 6-11 record in the other conference,
right?
Relatively, right? They're both losing records. Nobody's making the playoffs, but
fair enough. That is true. So you're sticking with the NFC South, even though you're saying that the AFC South will have less total wins than the NFC.
Yeah, South. I think yes. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I understand. Harry, how do you feel? You agree with what he said about that?
I wasn't listening.
It wasn't worth it. You didn't miss anything.
I was trying to figure out why something wasn't working.
Fair enough.
Computer, but
right.
I did. I was listening to something. Yeah, I do agree.
I think it makes a lot of sense. So, all right. Well, there you go. That was the NFL question of the week, and you know what that means.
It's time.
3 got to stay.
3 got to stay.
3 got to stay. 8 got to go.
I'm giving you 30 names. You got to pick 29
You got to alphabetize them. Go.
in order. Here we go. Now, it's time for the NFL history rapid fire quiz.
Rapid fire
History.
quiz.
This is about history now.
The rapid
Or it's
fire
more,
quiz.
as it's more commonly known, Pete's failure on the final.
I don't know about that. I'm feeling pretty brain dead right now.
All right, here we go.
Well, I was able to rattle off the starting lineup of the 78 New York Yankees.
You did do that. That was pretty impressive, actually. I got to be honest with you.
I don't know. I actually knew most of those guys too.
Oh yeah. Well, if you think about it, you can pull it back up, right?
Yeah,
you can do that. So,
But like I said, I think that was the end of my Yankees fandom.
there you go. All right. So here we go.
The beginning of it.
The beginning of it. That's
Great
it.
year.
There you go. Okay. So, and last week or 2 weeks ago, last quiz we had 2 weeks ago, Harry won 4-1.
Yeah.
And might I remind you that 4 weeks before that was the quiz before that, and Pete won his first quiz, and he won 4-2.
We're just
I feel
19
I
weeks
feel a
removed
Pete-
from my first victory.
I feel a Pete victory tonight.
I feel we'll see. We'll see. So it should be a couple interesting questions. Here we go. So, Pete, are you ready for your first question?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. Question number 1 for Pete. Here. Question number 1. Here we go. Which NFL team finished the 2008 season with an 0-16 record?
I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns.
You would be wrong.
What
All right.
season? 2008?
2008. That would be incorrect.
Oh, I guess that was more recently, wasn't it? That was only a few years ago.
Mhm.
Who finished? Oh, okay. Yeah. The
Harry.
other team.
Harry for the steal.
Was it the Lions?
It was indeed
Yeah,
the
it was the
Lions.
Lions.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you had a 50-50 on that one.
Are they the only team to go in 16?
In current day, basically.
Well, now somebody could break the record. They can go 0-17.
This is true. That can happen. That can happen. All right, Pete, question number 2.
It should be the Dolphins, shouldn't it?
Yeah, right. They should
Right?
bookend both sides of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Pete, question number 2. What Super Bowl winning quarterback was the first overall draft pick in the 2009 draft?
Super Bowl winning?
What Super Bowl winning quarterback was the first overall draft pick in the 2009 draft? What do you think?
So the question is basically who was the first?
Who was the first overall pick in the 2009 draft?
Like I would know that.
Well, that's why the other word is in there. What Super Bowl winning quarterback was the first overall draft pick in the 2009 draft?
I have no idea. Chad Pennington.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Bradford Darnold. No, that would be incorrect. Harry for the steal.
It's Stafford, right?
Matthew Stafford. Pete, the last question was the Lions. Should have been a clue.
He didn't
I
win the Super Bowl.
didn't know we were having a theme.
No, we're not.
I didn't know that was the way this thing was going.
It wasn't. Just said that. So, anyway. All right. Pete, question number 3. Here we go.
What was the first name of the Super Bowl winning first pick in the draft from 2009?
What was Joe Montana's first name?
Reginald.
All right. There you go. All right, Pete, question number 3. What NFL running back scored the most touchdowns in the 2006 season? What NFL running back scored the most touchdowns in the 2006 season?
2006. That's getting to be a while ago. I can't remember.
2006. Yeah. What NFL running back scored the most touchdowns
Almost
in the 2006
20
season?
years ago.
Yeah, it's 17 seasons ago.
I don't know. That guy from the Rams.
That guy from the Rams.
Yeah. Whoever was the running back on the Rams. That's what I'm going with.
We'll put a name to it.
I can't remember his name. I think he's probably out of the league by then.
Are you thinking Eric
Is there Eric Dickerson?
No, not
No,
that.
all right. Yeah.
The other one.
Dick Erickson?
Hang on.
Steven Jackson? Is that who you're thinking of?
I'll let you know in a second.
Wasn't Steven Jackson the running back on one of the Super Bowl teams?
No.
I'll tell you in a second. I think it's here. John Capoletti. That's it. No.
Capoletti.
He played in like 83.
Yeah, I know. That was.
Flipper Anderson.
No, he
All
was
right,
a receiver.
come on.
All right. So, no. Okay. All right. Harry for the steal?
Is the question who
Marshall Falk. That's what I'm thinking
Marshall
of.
Falk.
Marshall
Falk.
Yeah,
That's a good guess, Brong.
I'm torn between two players, and I think I'm going to go with one because I think this is overall touchdowns, right? Most touchdowns by
overall touchdowns. What NFL running back scored the most touchdowns in the 2006 season?
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Danian Tomlinson would be correct. I threw you.
That's what I thought.
I thought maybe Adrian Peterson, but I couldn't remember if that was what
Tomlinson is who I thought first, but I had
so go with your gut. Go with your gut.
I know, but I didn't know if he was playing in 2006.
Always go with your gut. Well, look at it this way. When was he a Jet?
I don't know.
09, 2010, 2011.
Sure. Maybe
he was with the Chargers for a while before that. So
John, not everybody has the chronological time capsule like you do. Remembering, Zeke Mowat's birthday.
Well, who doesn't know Zeke Mowat, number 84 on the Giants team?
Well, I know, but I don't know his birthday.
Anyway, I kid. All right. All right,
so Harry wins 16-0.
No, that's not true. You can steal all of Harry's.
Yeah, okay, that could happen.
All right, Harry, question number 1 for you.
Okay.
The horse collar tackle was banned in 2005. What safety injured 4 guys in 2004, causing it to be banned?
2004. Oh, before it was banned.
Yeah, the year before it was banned. What safety injured 4 players, in 2004, causing it to be banned in 2005?
Somebody on the Cowboys, but I can't remember his name. Can't remember his name. I don't know. That guy on the Cowboys. I don't know.
Marshall Falk.
Washington. It's not Washington. I don't know. I can't remember.
You can't remember? All right. RadioPete for the steal.
What year was it banned?
It was banned in 2005. So 04, this safety injured 4 guys using the horse collar tackle, causing it to be banned.
For?
I didn't say.
Ah, damn it. All right. It's worth a shot. So I have to think of who all the safeties were in 2005.
In 4.
4, yeah. 4.
Very different.
All right, yeah, 2004.
Wow.
I don't know. Steve Atwater.
Steve Atwater?
He retired in '89. But
Yeah, there you go. I have no
he
idea.
wore a horse collar. Yeah.
All right. It was indeed a cowboy. It was Roy Williams.
Come on.
Roy Williams.
Jesus Christ.
But one of you might have known that. Pete is
that's a tough
pseudo
one.
cowboy fan.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, I mean, it was a big thing too. It wasn't just like some random weird stat that I pulled out of my ass.
I mean, I barely remember it, but yeah.
All right. So that's a no. All right. Harry, question number 2. What quarterback was the first overall pick in the 2001 draft?
2001. Wow. Was he good?
Did he eat dinner all the time?
Well, there was a Bustin. That's going back too far. It's after that. Michael Vick?
Michael Vick is correct. Michael Vick is correct. Yes. Michael Vick. Good job. All right. And question number 3 for Harry. Who was the 2004 NFL Comeback Player of the Year?
2004 Comeback Player of the Year.
2004 Comeback Player of the Year.
Was it a tight end? 2004 Comeback Player of the Year was... Wait, is this a trick question? Has this already been an answer?
Was it Roy
Negative.
Williams?
Marshall Falk?
2004?
2004.
All right, so it's not a...
Maybe it was Steven Jackson.
No.
Steve Largent.
Comeback
Steve Atwater.
Player of the Year.
Steve Atwater. That was the hell of a season.
2000,
He was
hell of a
58 years
comeback.
old.
2000.
That's the comeback.
I'm trying to put 2004 in my mind. Is it Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner is a good guess. In 2004, Kurt Warner was on the Giants. So,
That's what I thought. He had a good year too.
Yeah, that would be a no. Yeah, he had a good year until they pulled him. They pulled him and put
It was
Manning
the year
in.
before that he had because he was on there for 2 years, right?
No, he just signed a 1-year contract with the
That's
Giants,
right.
and then he went to the Cardinals after that.
Okay.
So it wasn't Kurt Warner. Pete for the steal. Keep you honest and keep Harry honest and get you on the board.
These questions are not getting easier as we go.
No, they're getting fucking harder, especially now that 2004 is 19 years ago.
Comeback Player of the Year.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Kajana Carter. That's my guess. I have no idea.
Oh, really? You're guessing Kajana
Yeah,
Carter?
no, I know it's not him, but
No, it's not Kajana Carter. 2004 was a good draft for quarterbacks. Eli Manning was drafted. Ben Roethlisberger was drafted. Philip Rivers was drafted. Philip Rivers replaced this particular quarterback as quarterback.
Dan Fouts.
No, that would be wrong.
Steve.
Largent, no.
No, the quarterback, Steve. No.
Steve Young?
No.
Warren Moon.
No.
Steve Moon.
No.
All right, just tell us. This is a fucking weird year.
Drew Brees.
Ugh.
Drew Brees. So.
Who's he coming back from?
Down years. That's why they.
A couple shitty seasons, I guess.
Shitty seasons.
I thought you had to be injured for comeback player. That's fine.
I don't think Geno Smith was ever injured, and he was.
I don't. You could ask. I don't know who won it last year or the year before or any of these.
There you go. All right. So That's a no. All right. So
Alex Smith would be the only name that I think I would know, right? Didn't he win Comeback Player of the Year once?
I think
He
4
did.
times.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, we are done with this. 4-0.
Yeah.
Pete has won.
Shut out.
Or Harry's won 4-0.
Roy Williams.
Roy
Roy
Williams.
Williams.
Well, again, like I said, it was a
you're
big
wasn't
to do.
that big.
Well, no, it wasn't huge, right? It wasn't.
It was
Like,
big in
front page
John
news.
world.
No, it wasn't. It was big in NFL world. So next week, our topic will be top 10. 2 weeks from now, our topic will be top plays from this past Sunday's game. So.
I won't know that either.
Top commercials from this past Sunday's game. Anyway, all right, there you go. Good job. All right, weird fact of the day.
You're throwing weird facts in there?
I'll just throw another one. I do that every time. Over a third, and you don't think about this, right? You don't really think about this, but over a third of all NFL teams have never won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
12 teams.
Weird.
12 out of 32. It's over a third.
What percentage of baseball teams have ever won a World Series?
I don't know. More, less, right? Yeah.
How about basketball?
I don't know. I didn't do the stats on that. I can if you want me to do really quick.
No.
Figure out the percentage.
No, for next time.
For next
time, you'll
Next
have
time.
an answer for us.
I will respond to you on that.
Jimmy, get on that.
All right, Jimmy, get on that. All right. That brings us to tonight's top 5. Tonight's top 5 we did based on the NFL season starting tomorrow. Top 10 NFL draft busts. Top 10 NFL draft busts. As we've been doing lately, or for a while now, no more top 10s. We're doing top 5s, and we each do our own individual top 5. So
it's really a top 15.
So it's top 15, right? Well, keep in mind, though, with the top 10s, we were getting to 17 or 18 sometimes because we had the ties and everything else.
Yeah. So let's cruise through these. I think that combined, we will hit most of the ones that people think of, and maybe a few from memory.
I'll tell you
a few from memory.
I will tell you right now, there are, between the three of us, we have our ones and our twos are the same. One of us has them out of order, the other two. But
I wonder which one of us that is.
But the other three,
Pete's number 1 draft bust is Tom Brady. And you could argue that it was a draft bust because he was drafted so low.
Actually, it's Joe Torre.
Oh, you gotta love it.
I love a good callback.
Exactly.
Major league managers.
Gotta love it.
Mister, we could use a man like Joe Torre again.
There you go.
All right. Whose list is up first?
So let's do Pete first. Here we go. Oh, I was going to say the other 3 on all 3 of our lists are all different.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Interesting.
So there you go. So let's start. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for each. So Pete's number 5 is Lawrence Phillips. Lawrence Phillips. We can explain. You can explain these. We can talk about them afterwards or whatever. But Pete, your number 5 is Lawrence Phillips. His number 4 is Andre Ware.
Andre Ware, really?
Andre Ware,
Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, he was not. He played at
least big college numbers.
Yeah, at least he played.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I tried to leave out guys who just had injuries.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't feel like that was really fair. You know
Understood.
what I mean? Like it wasn't their fault they got hurt.
Yeah, you need at least a drug addiction and a really bad.
Like Phillips. Phillips was derailed by what he did off the field.
Yeah.
Andre Ware just didn't play well. You know.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Which we got is number 3 is Tony Mandarich.
Offensive tackle, right?
Yeah. Little bit more towards the injury side, but
yeah,
everybody thought this guy was Jesus, and he wasn't.
I think he was the number 1 overall pick or number 2 overall.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I think he was number 1.
All right. His number 2 is Mr. Ryan Leaf.
Wow, how do you not have this at number 1?
I know. And his number 1 is Mr. Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right.
I mean, I almost put Ryan Leaf number 1. probably should have, because Russell, it was a lot of hype.
Right.
To me, like, he was one of the first guys that got way more hype than he actually deserved.
Mhm.
But he was expected to do great things and had all the physical talents, but not the head.
Right.
Ryan Leaf, whatever. He was just a dick.
He was Johnny Manziel before Johnny Manziel.
Manziel was Johnny Manziel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He had a lot more talent than Manziel. I think.
Yeah, that's like I was looking at Manziel and I was like, yeah, I don't think there were way more people, I think, that said Manziel's not going to.
There were a lot of dumb top draft choices. That doesn't, to me, necessarily make it a bad bust.
Right.
Yeah. If Skip Bayless thinks it's a good pick, then that doesn't.
So be it.
Right.
It's already.
But with a guy like Manziel, there were a lot of people who went, I don't think he's going to be great in the pros.
Exactly.
There was much more doubt about him than there was about a guy like Ryan Leaf.
Or basically any of the Cleveland quarterbacks drafted.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Tim Couch.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then what's his name?
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for mine and Harry's, I'm actually going to go in reverse order since we know who the ones and the twos are. So Harry's number 1, Ryan Leaf. Harry's number 2, Jamarcus Russell. Harry's number 3, Brian Bosworth.
Yep.
The Boz.
I mean, talk about somebody who in college, maybe in my lifetime, maybe the most famous college player from a media standpoint that I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in movies before he even played in NFL? I mean, he's doing movies, I think, before he even played in a game.
Right.
Yep.
Agreed.
They thought this guy was Butkus and Lawrence Taylor wrapped up into one.
Right.
He was Bupkus, not Butkus.
Bupkus, not Butkus.
Well,
right.
then he ran into Bo Jackson,
and there you go.
We all found out he was neither of those two people.
Right. But yeah, they do commercials together now. So
yeah,
for EA Sports or
whatever. Not a bad guy, Bosworth. Kind of an entertaining, guy who I think has a sense of humor about himself now.
Yeah, he does now. He was kind of a
there were a lot of 80s assholes.
Yeah. Right. Well, when you have like 100 people around you telling you how great you are, you know what I mean? It's and they're still kids. Guys who come out of college, they're still kids. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't have perspective of.
I'll be honest. I thought he would be. I thought he was going to be pretty damn good in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't.
Bosworth,
yeah. Number 3, number 4.
Number 4, Heath Schuler.
Yeah. Yep.
I dug that one out just because I was like, people forget about that. I think the who's the guy from Penn State? Todd Marinovich.
Todd Marinovich, yeah. Todd Marinovich, yeah.
Todd Marinovich and Heath Schuler. They sort of get forgiven because of Ryan Leaf.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. This is true. Yeah. And his number 5, Charles Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost put him on my list too.
This guy was just, again, so much hype. Anyway, too bad.
Yeah, too bad. All right, mine. Now keep in mind, I could have put all 5 of these as Giants, right? Could have Dave Brown, Derek Brown, Tyrone Wheatley. I mean, I could have the list could have gone on and on, right?
Well, next week, all right, this is what I want it to be. What is it? Here are 6. 4 got to stay. 4 got to stay. Worst Jets and Giants draft picks of all time. Ever.
There you go.
Because I'll tell you what.
4 got to stay.
I'm not sure the Giants have ever had one worse than the Jets.
That's true. That is true. Fair enough.
That's probably true. Yeah.
All right. So mine are all 5 of mine are quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So my number 1, obviously, Ryan Leaf. My number 2, Jamarcus Russell. My number 3, Rick Mirer.
Oh God! Did he play for the Seahawks or something like that?
No,
Raiders.
No, he played for the Seahawks. Yeah, he got drafted. He was drafted. Ryan Leaf was drafted 2nd overall in '98 by the Chargers. Jamarcus Russell was drafted 1st overall in '07 by the Raiders. Rick Mirer was drafted 2nd overall in '93 by the Seahawks.
Seahawks. That's what I thought.
Seahawks. Yeah.
I thought he also played for the Raiders though later.
Yeah, no, he did. He went to the Raiders.
He played in more games than a lot of these guys, but he was not good.
Yeah.
No, he was not good.
My number 4, Jeff George. Jeff George.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he never. I mean, he was drafted first overall in '90 by the Colts. And
All right. Let me ask you something though. If Jeff George, with his skill set, was playing today, would he not? I would think he'd be a middle of the road quarterback in the NFL.
You would think he would be or wouldn't?
Yeah,
be?
I think he would be.
You'd think he'd be a middle row.
Or maybe slightly better with the way the rules are. No, I'm serious. The way the rules are now, you can't touch a receiver.
I mean, he was the Kirk Cousins of his time.
You're right on that one. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, he did. He was so hyped up. You're right. He underperformed. But
I would
argue he wasn't
the
a
skills,
complete
though.
bust. He was, because remember he had that weird late career comeback where he had like a 5 or 6 game stretch where I think it was for the Raiders, right? Where he was just, I think he had like 4 games in a row where he threw for 325 yards or something.
Yeah.
He had an arm at least.
But he did suck out of the gate. That's for sure.
Yep.
And there's a couple stories. There's a story about my number 5, and I'll tell you it this way before I put the name up. It's another quarterback. It's from the Bengals. So let's see if either of you can get it.
Oh, that's is it Carter?
Yeah.
Oh no, Achilles Smith.
Achilles Smith. There you go.
I forgot about it.
Achilles Smith, quarterback.
That's not that long ago.
3rd overall, 99. Drafted 3rd overall in 99. But get this, okay? New Orleans. Bengals had the 3rd pick. New Orleans offered the Bengals 9 draft picks for the number 3 overall pick. Okay? Because they desperately wanted to draft Ricky Williams, which they did anyway, but they desperately wanted to draft Ricky Williams. They offered the Bengals 9 draft picks that year. I think actually.
And then the Bengals went ahead and drafted.
And then the Bengals said no and drafted Achilles Smith.
Well, who went before Ricky Williams and Achilles Smith that year?
It's a good question. Let's find that out. All right.
What a great name.
Achilles Smith.
Graphically, Achilles. Great
Achilles
name.
There you go. 1999 NFL draft.
99 wasn't the first pick.
Here we go. Tim Couch went first to the Browns.
So was he not as big a bust as Achilles Smith?
I guess not. No, not really. No, I imagine that, right? Donovan McNabb went 2nd to the Eagles.
That's okay. McNabb. There you go.
Achilles Smith went 3rd to the Bengals. Edgerrin James went 4th to the Colts.
Great pick. Great pick.
And then the Saints.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And then the Saints moved up from. They got the pick from Carolina via Washington, and drafted Ricky Williams at 5.
A lot of busts in this draft.
Achilles Smith started just 17 games in 4 years.
How many did Tim Couch start?
And he missed his rookie training camp because of a contract dispute.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get to the team before he was fucking up.
So who was after that?
Ricky Williams. The Rams drafted Torrey Holt at 6.
Wow.
Yeah. The Redskins drafted Champ Bailey at 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Cardinals drafted David Boston at 8.
Well, he went on to have a pretty decent career.
He did. The Lions got Chris Claiborne.
And not so great, but not bad.
Yeah. The Ravens at 10 got Chris McAllister.
I remember him. Defensive back or running back?
He was a cornerback. Yeah.
Cornerback,
yeah. The Vikings at 11 drafted Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, he could go on
That's
this
right.
list.
McNabb and Culpepper in the same draft after Tim Couch and Achilles Smith.
Yep. Gotta love it. The Bears took Cade McNown. We'll just finish out the first. The
shitty quarterbacks.
There's a couple more notable players here. I'll just say it. The Bears took Cade McNown at 12. Steelers took Troy Edwards at 13. The Chiefs took John Tate at 14. The Bucks took Anthony McFarland at 15. The Titans took Javon Curse at 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, he was all right.
The Patriots picked Damian Woody at 17.
Yeah, dig.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to listen to him blabber on ESPN.
The Raiders picked Matt Stinchcomb.
I remember that name.
That
great Matt Stinchcomb.
He shows up on some lists of biggest NFL draft buffs.
There you go. The Giants at 19 picked Luke Pettigrew.
Yeah. Stuck around for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. Offensive tackle, obviously. Well, he went to a Super
Ravens,
Bowl.
right?
He went to a Super Bowl the second year in the league, but
yeah,
he went down there afterwards. The Cowboys at 20 picked Ebenezer Ekuban.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Cardinals at 21 took.
He played.
He played. Yeah. Right. Cardinals at 21 took L.J. Shelton. The Seahawks at 22 took Lamar King. The Bills at 23 picked Antoine Winfield.
All right. Are we done?
There's a couple.
There's 300 more.
We have another 240 draft picks.
We're going halfway through the third round.
John's YouTube channel. He just cites drafts. All draft orders.
1996 third round. Cardinals.
It's like that ASMR for like fucking I don't know some sort of weird.
For the people that watch Good Morning Football,
who fall asleep during the draft. Yeah, they can't. They need it all year long.
And I'm here to provide it.
God.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Number 1,
Jamarcus Russell.
You're gonna love it.
Number 5, Achilles Smith.
There you go. All right. I'm just finishing out the first round.
Please don't.
Only 10 more to go.
Let's leave our audience in suspense.
Yeah.
There's a couple of decent names.
All right, hit the highlights.
I forget it. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. The 49ers at 24 pick Reggie McGraw. The Packers at 25 pick Antoine Edwards. The Jags at 26 picked Fernando Bryant. The Lions at 27 picked Aaron Gibson. The Pats at 28 picked. I can't even think of how to stop. Wait. Andy Katzenmeyer.
Andy Katzenmeyer.
The Vikings at 29 took Demetrius Underwood.
Demetrius Underwood.
The Falcons at 30 picked Patrick Carney.
Pat Carney there.
Wow, old Pat Carney.
Oh, Pat Carney. Yeah, there you go.
Patty.
And the
Broncos came along with a pot of gold.
And the Broncos picking last at 31. Because remember, we didn't have 32 teams then. This was 99 before the Texans came in the league. Took Al Wilson.
There you go.
The great Al
Wilson.
There you
go. There's the connection. Al Wilson, baby. Used to sit next to him down at Josephina's. Love that guy. One of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
There you go.
Al Wilson. And a great,
one of the Beach Boys, right?
What's that? One of the Beach Boys.
One of the Beach Boys. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. So, all right. We don't have any old balls tonight, right?
No.
Well, we have a lot of old balls here.
Al Wilson. God, what a great linebacker.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
First rounder.
All right. And speaking of Al Wilson, and just for Al Wilson.
Way better than Achilles Smith.
What's that?
He was way better than Achilles
Smith.
Way
better.
Yeah, he was.
Tim Couch.
Oh, of course. And just for Al Wilson.
There we go.
He could be our old balls tonight. Well, old enough. This is 99.
Yeah, I guess approaching
younger than
40.
us, but yeah.
Is he maybe 40 years old?
99, 6. He's probably 44, 45. No,
there you go.
46, 47, maybe.
Old enough balls.
Old enough balls. There you go. All right. Do we? Do we have an over under tonight?
Okay.
Pete?
We don't have an over under, but we do have an Are They For Real?
We do have an Are They For Real? We are doing a special fun show. Are they for
real? And this one is
number 5, Achilles Smith.
All right.
What is
There you
real?
go.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right, so we're going to subtitle this one Pick 3. It's kind of like Four Gotta Stay. I'm going to give you 6 quarterback wide receiver combinations, and you're going to pick 3 that you think are for real.
All right.
As in they will do well this season.
Okay.
You can write these down if you want.
I'm going to jot them down.
Or I'll just remind you what they are.
I'm going to jot them
First
down.
up, Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
Do you hear them all? Although I agree, that's probably doesn't matter who else is on the list. That one.
Justin Jefferson, yes. Yeah.
Number 2.
Benny Hill and Justin Jefferson.
Scarecrow and
Me and Justin Jefferson.
E. Arthur and Benny.
What
and
was
Justin
the
Jefferson,
the little thing that you'd crack the Mr. Quarterback or whatever?
Mr. Quarterback, right.
And Justin Jefferson, yes. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
That's number 2. Number 3, Tua and Tyreek. Number 4, I think this is going to be on everyone's list. Joey B and Jamar Chase. Number 5, Daniel Jones and one of the Giants receivers. I guess
Waller?
Slayton?
He's not a receiver.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. He's going to be throwing a Waller more than he's going to throw to any of the receivers. So
you can put him in there. It's just a... Anyway.
Or Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that too.
DJ and anyone on the Giants.
All right.
And last but not least, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. So pick 3. Obviously, the boys from Minnesota are in.
All right. So who's going first?
You can go first, John.
All right. Well, Cousins Jefferson.
Yeah.
Rodgers Wilson. And
your third pick?
You know what? Here's the thing, right? I'm concerned. We said this last week on the show when we were talking about our picks. I'm concerned about Burrow staying on the field all 17 games.
Yep.
So if Burrows and Chase are in there, then I'm concerned about that one. Tua, it kind of falls into that category too. Is Tua going to stay on the field the whole season? Right.
Yeah.
So it's between Hurts and Brown and Jones and Waller. But specifically Hurts and Brown. It's not Hurts and company. It's Hurts and Brown.
Right. Yeah. DJ is. It's Daniel Jones and one other player.
Right. Yeah. You know what?
You can insert your own name into the.
Yeah, I'm going Hurts. I'm going Hurts and Brown. I'm going Hurts and Brown.
Yeah. Thank God. Because if you
Cousins Jefferson, Hurts, Brown, Rodgers, Wilson. That's my 3.
I'm going 1, 2, and 4. I think Joe Burrow stays healthy, and so I go 1, number 2, and number 4.
Cousins, Jefferson, Hurts, AJ, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I would do that. Other than obviously my concern for Burrow staying on the field for all 17 games, but I also think that Rodgers is going to find in Wilson. And this is more hope. This is more hope for Pete and the other Jets.
I think Rodgers. I don't think that's going to be his number 1 receiver.
I don't. I think he's going to find in him like his new, younger, faster even to a little small degree, Devontae Adams.
I think he's going to go to Devontae Adams still.
Well,
yeah,
he got to throw the ball pretty far.
Now, can I ask you a question?
All the way to Las Vegas.
What's the latest that Gronk can come in and play for the Jets?
Well, he said he likes Dable.
No, he said Dable. He said the only guy that could get him out of retirement would be Dable, and because Dable worked with him. Dable worked with him in New England.
Yeah, because the one time the Giants have the tight ends Gronk wants to go.
Yeah, right. Giants don't. That's one place the Giants don't need any help.
Well,
yeah, bring in Gronk. Well, no, of course, but
just for blocking alone.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be great. 3 tight ends, 2 running backs,
4 tight ends. They got Lawrence Cager too.
Yeah,
they got 3. They got 3 tight ends.
Yeah.
You got Bellinger, right, Cager, and Waller.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Cousins and Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take A-Rod and Garrett Wilson. And
Wilson should have a pretty good year.
Yeah. I mean, it was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Last year with Zach and company and Mike White, and I'm not as concerned as you are, John, about Burrow, although I do have some concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Burrow and Chase.
All right.
So Cousins, Burrow, and A-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
A-Raj, I should say.
Sorry,
Tua, and sorry, DJ. No one's picking you.
There you go.
All right, there we go, and that's
this week's Are They For Real?
Are They For Real?
All right. Special fun show episode of.
Now, let me ask you one other thing. Yeah. Amongst the ones that you picked, if you were starting a fantasy team and you wanted to do that quarterback receiver combo, which one?
If I had to do these as my quarterback receiver.
Yeah, for the sake of argument, we'll say you have your choice. Which one would you pick?
Hurts and Brown.
Hurts and Brown. Okay.
Because Hurts is, Jefferson. If it's just pure the receiver, it's Jefferson. But Brown's going to give me good yardage and good points as a receiver, and Hurts is going to give me the receptions and the touchdowns and running.
Yeah, you're going to get the running touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm not getting that from Kirk Cousins, and I'm not getting that from Aaron Rodgers. So
that's true. Harry, what do you think?
Combined like fantasy football.
Yeah.
Score? Yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson, I think, was the number 1 fantasy player last year.
He was.
Right. I had from both of these players. I mean,
so
you're going to get.
I got to go Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Yes, I mean,
I got to buy Harry a Bengals jersey.
Yeah, I think you need some Bengals.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Jamar Chase is the number 2 ranked receiver. It looks like it's, at least from what I'm looking at here, the receivers are always ranked really high. The quarterbacks are always down a little bit more. But
you can't go wrong with any of the receivers on this list. You can't.
No.
Right.
Jefferson. Look, a week and a half ago, I did my first fantasy draft. Did the second one last Thursday, and I'm in 5 leagues. But my first pick in my first fantasy draft this year was Justin Jefferson because I actually went first. If I went second, I wouldn't have gotten him.
So I think you got to go with a running quarterback and a top receiver. So that sort of that narrows it down to like what Tyreek Hill and Tua, or Hurts and AJ Brown. I think that's going to give you the best combination of Mahomes and if he was in there, I think but that's I think how you have to look at it. So I would probably say Tyreek Hill is going to be up there. So maybe Tua and Tyreek are your best combo.
I would just be concerned, of Tua staying on the field, Burrow staying on the field. So that's why, and mobility wise, I would say the best of these for that fact would be Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. So that's me though.
So here's the top PPR quarterbacks. So Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Jackson, Burrow. So those were on our list. Kirk Cousins is 12th. Daniel Jones is 11th. Who was the 5th one?
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is 14th.
14th, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because of the running. So again, I think the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, I think I'm actually going to go Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown is gonna. If I had to pick a PPR quarterback receiver combo, that's who I would go.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, let's see. Jalen Hurts had. I don't know if this is. Oh, let's see. So Patrick Mahomes had 41 passing touchdowns. He had the most.
Mm.
Joe Burrow had 35, and he ran in 5, so that's 40. Aaron Rodgers had 27 combined. Tua had 25, didn't rush any. Jalen Hurts had 35. Less passing, 22 passing, but 13 rushing. So on this list,
right,
he's equal to Tua as far as the touchdowns.
Last year, if you're going by last year, the top fantasy quarterbacks were Mahomes, then Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts was third. Joe Burrow was fourth. Geno Smith was fifth. Justin Fields was sixth. Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones at number 9. Again, a lot of rushing yards. But Tom Brady was number 12, even though he ran 3 times for minus 60 yards.
Yeah.
The only running back to get into the top 15 is Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey. And again, McCaffrey's up there because he catches in.
Right.
So
see, the only thing about Hurts though is we in these situations you're looking to double up. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get 13 rushing touchdowns, but you only get 6 points when he rushes it in.
But I'm saying he had the third most points by a quarterback last year.
Yeah.
So he was the highest out of the options we were given. Now, Justin Jefferson was the highest receiver. Devontae Adams was second, which is why I asked, do you want it to be Devontae? He's not on that list. So Tyreek Hill, again, he was number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Waddle, was also up there. So Miami's a good, if you want a good team for, fantasy, then Miami's not a bad place to look.
There's a lot of good players around the league that you can get. It's just the right combination of who you're putting together with the team. It's all a crapshoot. But my main league, my main receiver is Justin Jefferson. My starting quarterback.
You can't go wrong with Justin Jefferson.
And my starting quarterback is Josh Allen.
Yeah, so you're sitting pretty good.
Yeah,
because even if they don't have a great game by the way we look at it, if they rack up a lot of the rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, bump quarterbacks way up. Yeah, one passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown is better than 2 passing touchdowns and an interception.
My quarterback is Josh Allen, in my main league. I have Barkley and Pollard as my running backs. Jefferson and Devontae Adams as my wide receivers. Waller's my tight end.
I have Lynn Swan.
He was available. I did not pick him. Yeah. I have him as my commentator. I have my league, so we have commentators.
Lynn Swan and Paul Lynn as my fantasy.
Paul Lynn Swan. So, cool. All right.
My comedy 70s receiver PPR league.
Pete, who would you pick for a fantasy team?
I'd probably take Cousins and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
because I think they're going to throw a lot, especially without Dalvin Cook. And Jefferson's a great receiver. And I can't imagine Hurts is going to run for 13 touchdowns again, whether that's because the team is not going to let him run as much or because defenses are going to work out a scheme to maybe slow him down a little bit. Although I still think it's going to be a lethal combination. But
back before fantasy football, who do you think would have been the best fantasy player?
And what like position wise?
80s, 90s. Yeah.
80s quarterback. I mean, just overall global in the 80s. Geez, I say you probably got to go. I mean, Joe Montana jumps right out at you, right? But you probably got to go Dan Marino.
Marino, I would think.
You know who I would go with?
Elway?
Randall Cunningham.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you could do that.
you get a lot of rushing yards too.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan Bouts, if you just want to have numbers.
Sure.
Well, see, yeah, so that's the thing that it depends on how the league is set up.
On how the league
what do you get for yardage versus what do you get for the for the touchdown? So
yeah, because Chuck Muncie probably would have had more points than Earl Campbell.
Right. Mm-hmm. But I think, I mean, any of these combinations you'd be happy to have on your team. You know what I mean? If you're drafting a little bit later and you're going, oh, I'll take a chance on Tua. Although, if
you're in a league with a lot of people,
would go before Tua.
There's no way you're getting Justin Jefferson and Josh Allen. If you're in a league with a lot of people.
You know what? We should actually do that. We should. I like that idea. We should actually do that. We should pick a year, a specific year, not just the 80s or back in the day or whatever. We pick a year and pick our own fantasy teams. Players can overlap. Who cares? We're not doing this, right? Just pick a team, pick a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, so forth and so on, from that year, and compare them. And
I don't know how to calculate the fantasy stuff.
Well, I mean, you can, right? I mean, you can just go back and look at the yards. I mean, I wouldn't do it per game. I would do it just
because it has less to do with yards and more to do with touchdowns. Right?
It has to do with yards. It has to do with yards and touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So it's scoring and yardage. So quarterbacks throwing, running,
you get kind of ding. You get kind of ding.
Going. I know now. A quarterback is going to get 6 points when he rushes for a touchdown. He's only going to get 4 points when he throws for a touchdown.
And you get how much do you get taken off for an interception?
Say again.
How much do you get dinged for an interception?
1 point.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And well, in any of my leagues anyway, you could change all of that. You can make it 20 points for a touchdown and 40 points for an interception. You can set it up however you want.
As long as it's all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I played in one year where they split everything in half. Like the
touchdowns, 3 points.
A touchdown pass was 3 for the quarterback and 3 for the receiver.
Interesting.
Each yard was like a half point for the quarterback and a half a point for the guy who caught the ball. Which was, I mean, it was really weird. It was completely like performance based, right? Like, well, somebody had to throw it and somebody had to catch it. They both don't get 6, but it's worth 6, so they each get 3. It was fucking weird. Very interesting league, though.
I'm just going to pick all offensive tackles. What if
I'll take Steve Atwater.
What if what was it? Reggie Williamson, Roy Williams. Isn't he a comedian now, Roy Williams?
Roy Williams, and then we'll set it for clothesline tackles are worth 25 points each.
Oh, then that would definitely, it depends on the year, but that would definitely be
So we're doing an IDP league in 2004.
Or who was the last person to wear a horse collar? Who wore the best horse collar on their shoulder pad?
Oh, well, that would have happened.
Brian Urlacher.
Urlacher, probably, right?
Urlacher, yeah.
Who was and then they had the ones that stuck way up, the weird, like, kind of easy chair.
Like a headrest.
Like it's a head, like you can just kind of sit back in the huddle.
That's right. It's you're getting comfortable when you're paralyzed.
Right. Yeah. So we should do that though. We'll talk about that. We'll pick a year, and do it. Just whatever. Just a fun thing.
And then you're gonna calculate who wins.
We'll do that. You know what? You know what you do? Send me your teams. I'll send it out to you. Send me your teams. We'll do it for 2 weeks.
I gotta know how the scoring's gonna be.
The scoring will be. I'll send it out. I'll send with it.
Are we gonna have a draft though? Right? We're gonna have.
No, we don't have to have a draft.
Oh, I mean, what if we pick the same person?
And you get the
same. Yeah, exactly. If you pick the same team, then you're gonna tie, right? But
we're picking a team, not individual players.
No, yeah, pick. We'll do a quarterback. We'll do 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end,
right,
a flex player, a kicker, and a defense.
You got to pick the year.
Right.
So is this from a certain era?
We'll pick a year. You want to pick it now, and I'll send it out to you.
Okay,
we'll do it for the 2 weeks from tonight's show.
All right.
We'll do it. We'll
let
do it for the
active players.
Let us know the year.
Right.
Pete, do you have a coin in your pocket? That'll be the year.
1946.
1946. There you go. How about a year that I can actually go get stats from and figure it out?
Where we don't have to go to the Library of Congress and get a scroll out.
Yeah, for my kicker, I'm taking Gugan Djordjevic.
That was a power forward for the Jazz.
Djordjevic wasn't that Tom Cruise's name in All the Right Moves?
Here's a coin.
Right.
Djordjevic.
Stefan Djordjevic.
Stefan Djordjevic, yeah.
One coin. Everybody knows the rules. Old eyes can't see the damn date.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Hang on. I got
2015.
No, you can't.
I got 5
older.
quarters here.
Take the oldest. Take the oldest.
Okay.
Take the oldest.
All right,
Something hopefully from the 80s or 90s. Hopefully.
I don't know if I have that. I thought it would be older.
All right, this is can't read it with my glasses on.
How about you just pick a year? How about 1984?
2016, no. A couple of these are old.
I got 2 quarters from 2015.
I got 2 pennies sitting right here, but they're both
1984.
This is 2009.
All right, 84.
Or I got a 78.
Want to do 78?
78 or 84?
Let's do 84.
78. Come on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not going to have it. You're going to have barely any receptions. Everything's going to be
I know.
run.
That's why I love it. It's easy to calculate.
I agree. 1978.
1978. All right. 1978.
Jack Lambert is my flex player.
So a QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers.
Oh, do you got to pick a
tight end.
defense? Do you got to pick a defense?
No, just
Yeah.
Defense. Yeah. One quarter. Write it down.
flex.
One quarterback.
And
got
one-
Steelers.
One quarterback. One.
Okay.
2 running backs. 2 wide receivers. 1 tight end. 1 kicker. 1 defense. 1 flex
You
player.
text this to us. What that list is.
And these have to be active, like not somebody you signed a 1-year contract or a 1-day contract who was an all-time great, right? These have to be actually.
No,
Yeah, because it's
that
stats
year.
are for
They're not going to
year.
have any stats.
The
that
stats
year.
are for that year. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Just
You got a couple
Justin
weeks. We'll
Jefferson
do that.
was great in 78.
We'll do
I
that
think
for
I'm
the.
just going to draft the Cowboys.
Justin Jefferson's mother was born in 78.
Yeah, I think Billy White Shoes Johnson's going to be on my list.
Maybe.
I just want to pick Chuck Muncie just so I could see a picture of Chuck Muncie on the. Can we do like a nice little picture intro?
We can piece together the entire team.
Excellent.
Right?
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Jack Lambert just for the hell of it, just so you can see his one tooth in his mouth.
There you go. Jack Lambert is a flex player. What did he do?
Killed the other. For every broken. Talk about horse collars. He broke people's collarbones.
So, all right, sounds good.
How many face masks did he chew through?
Gotta love it. All right, we'll do that.
We'll do that. Was that the year Mean Joe Green did the Coke commercial?
Yeah, it might have been actually.
78. We were talking about the 78 Yankees earlier.
We were 1970. Something about that year. 1978. All right,
It's a good year.
had a good year.
All right. On that note,
On that note, do that 2 weeks from tonight. Next week's show is obviously going to be more topical as we do every other week. But we'll do it 2 weeks from
we
tonight.
just need to go off the rails. Just let's.
Every now and then. Well, football. It's going to be our first real show with football games having been played.
Oh,
Because season starts tomorrow, so it's after first week.
so exciting!
So exciting! All right, Pete, you have anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all the shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our brand new host, Spreaker, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and some brand new platforms, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and pretty much anywhere you can get an audio podcast platform from. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy NFL kickoff weekend. If you missed last week's show, watch it again. We dissect the league pretty well, I think. It was a decent show last week. So check that out and enjoy NFL kickoff weekend. We'll talk next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Goodbye, everybody.
Number 5, Achilles Smith.
Look at the little Tula. She's talking to the producer there. And a man in a jumpsuit throws her a grapefruit. By George, she is